Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today for our conversation with our featured program, RAIN, and Julia D'Orazio. I'd like to welcome, my name's Laura Haight, and I'm the Communications Director for Dining for Women, and I'd like to welcome our host, Veena Khandekar, who will be taking over the role as Interim Program Director. Veena, welcome.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
And she will be taking over for Dr. Maggie Aziz, who is with us today for her last DFW Hangout. She's going to be changing her role with Dining for Women and has accepted an assistant professorship with the University of South Carolina, which is pretty exciting. Maggie, welcome.
Hi, Laura. Thanks, guys. I'm really looking forward to my new position and continuing to work with DFW.
And we are too. We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
So, with that said, Veena, welcome and take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here at this Google Hangout today. We have with us Julia D'Orazio, who is with Communications and Social Media for the group RAIN. RAIN for the Sahel and Sahara is celebrating 10 years of transforming the region of the Sahel and the Sahara. Their main focus is working with nomadic communities, and one of their goals is to provide education for children who need to be residential and who need some kind of a food program that can enhance their educational experiences. Another major challenge in this area is food security, and this part of the world suffers from extreme climate conditions. They often have harsh floods and even droughts. So sustainable agricultural practices is what RAIN works with. And RAIN also seeks to partner with different communities. Typically, these communities are poor, they're isolated, they have little or no aid, government or NGOs, and they need to have an active group of about 100 students for their programs, and they typically work with parents who see the necessity for education and are supportive of this. So Julia, if you could take it off.
Thank you so much, Veena. I'm so glad to share RAIN with Dining for Women and all of your supporters. So I will open up a brief presentation about RAIN and about the programs Dining for Women is helping to support. As Veena mentioned, RAIN's mission is to partner with nomadic and rural communities in West Africa to realize their ambitions for education and for livelihoods. Bess Palmajano visited Niger in 2001. She saw the poverty and lack of opportunity and wanted to help. Upon finding no NGO working there, she started RAIN. We work in the remote arid desert regions of West Africa with the nomadic Tuareg and Wodabi people. Niger is tied with the Republic of Congo as the poorest country in the world. It has very little infrastructure and relies on agriculture and herding. Over 95% of people are totally dependent upon the land. These programs are in Agadez, which is a desert region in the north of Niger that sees little aid. Tuareg nomads comprise most of the residents. They're herders and a matrilineal society. The wife owns the portable family home and maintains her own herd. Modesty is expected in both genders. However, women do not veil themselves as the men do. Nomadic women and girls in Niger have few skills or opportunities. The average girl drops out of school before the 4th grade. 1 out of 16 women die in childbirth. And because of such poverty, many men leave in search of work and leaving women behind to support their families and communities on their own. Learning and Earning Groups, or LEGS, is women mentoring and teaching at-risk girls to succeed as they develop new livelihoods to support their families and the program. This grant will provide mentoring programs, including stipends for mentors, practical skills workshops for girls, savings and loan groups, income-generating activities, and the training, monitoring, and evaluation of these programs in 5 Agadez communities. As in many countries, girls are often kept at home in Niger to help with chores or search for pasture land. Many marry in their early teens. To address this, RAIN recruits community women as mentors to at-risk girls. They're trained to counsel on life choices and gender issues, teach practical skills, and advocate for the girls with parents and teachers. Walking miles to meet with the students, they're committed to offering them opportunities they never had year after year. Mentored girls succeed in greater numbers than their peers. Over 600 girls in 18 communities are succeeding now with mentors by their sides. Practical skills help girls become more independent. Here we see Mariama of Ifirwan with a leather item she created for sale to local markets. At right is Tanalhir Ilyas. She's a widowed mother struggling with many children. Her daughter Fatima's mentor, Asalama, is supporting Fatima through school. This is very common of mentors and families supporting each other. Tanhaler related that I hope all my daughters can take part in the mentoring program one day with mentors like Asalama. Asalama is pictured at left with her students, including Fatima. Another success story is a different Fatima. Fatima's father was requiring her to work at a shop instead of going to her practical skills class. But each week her mentor Bule would come and publicly advocate for Fatima. Eventually her father relented and Fatima was in class again. She says, even if I attend college, I'll still benefit from Bule's advice until I become a teacher. That's what I want to be when I grow up. So how do education programs become sustainable? The answer is small-scale enterprise, which generates income for mentors' families and for the program, such as materials and traditional skills classes. At left here, a mentor in Akukan is receiving a goat for her starter herd. Your support will create herding enterprises for 170 nomadic women. Savings and loan groups support these new livelihoods. Women create new relationships, become more independent economically, and men recognize the importance of their economic activities in the community and family level. Your support will create 5 SNL groups in Agadez. Here we see Farara Alassane with her knitting machine. Here's the SNL group, Akasen Tamakashir, relieving the burden, celebrating their first savings. Generally, the first seed fund will be about $200, and the average loan amounts are $50. Your impact will include 150 or more at-risk girls learning academic and life skills. 30 mentors and their families will benefit from increased food security. And women will be socially empowered in their roles as wise women as they share their knowledge with their wider communities. Thank you.
Julia, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. Can we ask you a few questions about your LEGS Learning and Earnings Groups program? So to start off,
Absolutely.
How exactly do you pick the at-risk girls? How does RAIN select these girls?
At-risk girls are usually identified by teachers and actually by the mentors themselves who are a part of the communities we work with. They're local women, they know the families. Usually the girls come from families who are challenged with extreme food insecurity. Maybe they've lost one or both of their parents, or perhaps they're slated for an arranged marriage in the very near future and need some sort of intervention to stay in school.
Okay. What exactly are the education goals that you expect for these girls?
Well, the first goal is keeping them attending, helping them to succeed. and to get them through middle school, which is generally about the equivalent of the 9th grade here in the Western system. As most girls never make it past the 4th grade, this is our first task. The goal is to instill confidence in girls, to teach them practical skills for which they will use throughout their entire lives, and to lay the foundation for the possibility of going on to high school and college. Even if they don't go on, which some girls may not, they have the possibilities open to them, and really usually have fewer children and marry later than girls who do not receive more years of education.
Well, that sounds very interesting. Tell us more about the mentors. Who are these women? What role do they play in the larger community? How long do they stay with the program?
Yeah, the mentors are nomadic local women in the communities we work with. They almost unanimously have had no formal schooling themselves. They show an interest in helping their local girls and in learning new things for themselves. So we generally have a community-wide meeting where everyone is invited. The women present themselves as having interest. From there, they receive trainings. They receive trainings in health education, in gender issues, and they pass on their knowledge and their caring to the girls they mentor. It's generally 5 girls to 1 mentor. Girls will stay with mentors throughout their entire, from primary school all the way on through middle school. For example, the group of mentors in Akakon, which was our first group, started in 2005, 2006, and the girls that they've been mentoring since that time are just now graduating middle school. So they've been with them for nearly 10 years.
Okay. Well, looking at the larger picture, what role do the mothers play? Could these mentors be a relative? Is this like one big happy family?
Well, extended families are very common in the culture. It really depends on the family. Oftentimes mothers are motivated for their daughters to be educated. Other times they don't quite understand because it's an experience that they haven't had. Teaching practical skills is actually an excellent way to convince these girls' mothers that it's a valuable experience. Oftentimes mothers and mentors will help each other. For example, we have one mentor, Asalama, who regularly helps to support her mentored student, Fatima. Really, the only difference is that the mentors meet with the girls twice a week at the school and really advocate with the parents if there's any obstacle.
So clearly it seems that these mentors have interesting status in the community. Do you see a potential for some of these mothers to become a mentor sometime in the future, since they are inspired by what their daughters are doing?
Oh, when women in the community see mentors, see the change that they make as they kind of become wise women in the community, they do get motivated to participate. That's not uncommon. And generally, for example, once mentors learn their savings and loan groups, the plan is for them to go on and train other women in their community to start their own groups. So the intention is for families and mentors to help each other, and for mentors to elevate the community with new information and inspire new livelihoods.
So these programs work in keeping with their nomadic culture. So you don't see this as being as an interference with their nomadic culture, because they kind of have to be somewhat stable and at one place during the educational rounds.
All of our programs are tailored around the needs and the issue of each community, and it draws upon the traditions of the nomadic people in this region. For example, We do have herding initiatives that support herding, since it's an important aspect for their food and income. Education is really a means to empower the nomadic families within their traditional framework. The practical skills that girls learn are those that are traditions that have been passed on for generations and are really in the interest of, strengthening those artisan traditions. So really, in the Tuareg society, women do play a central role, and our programs are really trying to just enhance that and build upon that strong role.
Mm-hmm. Could you expand a little bit on the Savings and Loans program? Give us a concrete example.
Yes, I noticed my presentation didn't get that far. Mm-hmm. Savings and loans programs are usually start out with mentors, since they are, have formed a bond of a group and have been trained in these other aspects already. And really, it's women coming together, starting with a small investment from RAIN. They regularly pool their resources and make alternative loans to each member. So at one point, it'll be one member taking out a loan to start a new enterprise. At another point, it may be a member taking out a loan to buy food. More often than not, our savings and loans programs are meant to support the small enterprises that they've chosen, such as herding.
Okay.
And then also in nomadic culture, yeah, go ahead.
No, continue.
There's a tendency, yes, there's not a large tradition of saving in the nomadic culture. So the women learn the value of saving, as well as basic accounting skills, which is of great value to them.
Okay. So as you move forward, do you see RAIN kind of expanding on the programs that you have, or is there some new mission or vision out there that you hope to reach someday?
RAIN's vision has grown quite a bit since the start of RAIN. Right now, we're focusing on deepening and making our current programs more sustainable. For example, savings and loan programs, making enterprise a more sustainable initiative. We are expanding our school market gardens from 500 square meters to 1,000 square meters. We're introducing cash crops. We're taking the core programs and deepening and expanding them as we do continue to seek new partner communities at the same time. We are working in the Tillabéri region in the south, as well as the Agadez region. So the learning and earning groups working together really form an interdependent set of programs that have the potential to truly be independent of RAIN within 3 years.
Okay, we are reaching the point where we are going to be wrapping up. Thank you, Julia, for sharing all these insights into these programs with us. We at Dining for Women are really excited about your program. And thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you, Veena, so much.
Thank you for joining us at this Google Hangout. We will see you again next time, where we will talk with Joanna Sherman, who is the founder of Bond Street Theater. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
Thank you.